Welcome back to the channel, Rowdy Nation TV. We got Earl Spence Jr. versus Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford, 37-0, 28 KOs. Earl Spence Jr., 27-0, 21 KOs. Terrence Bud Crawford, the WBO welterweight champion, made a statement saying, "I've been champion since 2014, 7 straight years, 3 different weight classes." Earl Spence Jr. said, "It doesn't matter how many people you fought. It's the quality of opponents that you fought." So we got Earl Spence Jr., who's IBF WBC welterweight champion and a 2012 Olympic quarterfinalist. Let's take a look at the opponents that they fought and to get to the point where we at right now. So we'll start with Terrence Bud Crawford. In 2017, he fought Julius Odongo. Now, when he fought Julius Odongo, that was for undisputed. When he won that belt, he became undisputed at 140 pounds. So there was nobody else for him to fight at 140 pounds. So he moved up, and as soon as he moved up, he got a title fight with Jeff Horn, and that was in 2018. And Jeff Horn had just won that belt from Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao had went to Australia, and he lost his belt to Jeff Horn. So here comes Bud Crawford in 2018, and he regains that belt from Jeff Horn. That same year, in 2018, Bud fights Jose Benavidez Jr. Now, Jose is a good fighter. He was a good fighter. I think he's retired now. But Bud took him out in the 11th round. But I got to say that Jose Benavidez was out for a while because he had got shot in the leg, in the knee or something like that. So you can see that he wasn't a complete fighter, but no excuses. He shouldn't have gotten in the ring But he lasted till the 11th round. Also in 2019, Bud fought Amir Khan, and we know Amir Khan is a shell of himself. He got knocked out by Triple G. He dared to be great, went up, and got knocked out. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. Not Triple G. He got knocked out by Canelo. He got knocked out by Canelo, not Triple G. Take that back. I'm sorry. So he got knocked out by Canelo. He tried to be great. So, and then Bud came and he just quit. To be honest with you, Amir Khan quit because he was about to get knocked out. Bud was giving him the business. Then Bud fights Edis Kavalauskas. So when he fight Edis Kavalauskas, he knocks him out too. And he was a pretty tough fighter. And that brings us to 2020 when Bud fights Kell Brook. Now, as I said, that's another fighter on his list that also dared to be great, and he fought Triple G. He went up to fight Triple G, and he got a detached retina, and he was doing good in that fight for the first few rounds until his eye couldn't hold up any longer. And he also fought, as I said before, Kell Brook got a detached retina when he fought Earl Spence. So by the time he fought Bud, he was a shell of himself. But no excuses. Undisputed 140-pound champion. Terrence Bud Crawford is seeking to fight with Earl Spence Jr., IBF WBC welterweight champion. Now, let's get into the business of boxing, because in the business of boxing, you got the promoters. You got Al Heyman, who's really not a promoter. He's an advisor for Earl Spence and the PBC. And then you have Bob Arum, who is top ranked promoter for Bud Crawford. Now, when Al Heyman and the PBC came into the game of boxing, Al had a bag of money. The investors, Al had Bob Arum, Oscar De La Hoya, a.k.a. Top Rank, and Golden Boy Promotions. They wasn't ready for that. They wasn't ready for the changing of the landscape that PBC was bringing to boxing. A lot of fighters from Top Rank and Golden Boy Promotions jumped ship, and they left to go to the PBC. So they left to go to the PBC. So Al Heyman has acquired like 200 fighters at the PBC. He's acquired all these TV dates. He has Showtime. He has FS1. He has even regular TV networks that shows his fights. So he's acquired all these dates. He's acquired all these fighters. So they sue him. They sue him. Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, Top Rank, Bob Arum sue Al Heyman and the PBC. They lost in court. So now you still have to do business with this man. After you tried to sue this man, you want your fighter to fight his fighter. Not only do you want your fighter to fight his fighter, you're trying to dictate a 60-40 split with your fighter. Okay, not only do we got promoters and advisors that we're dealing with, they fight on different networks. So they fight on different networks. So if you got to do the business with the promoters, they want their split. They want their split. Who's going to show the fight? Who's going to air the fight? So you got ESPN, who Bob Arum deals with, and then you have Showtime, who Al Heyman deals with. If they want to do the fight, who's going to show it? So you got the business of boxing. I'm gonna say this. Bud is out on the island by himself. Bob Arum there's nobody for him to fight on that side. Crawford likes to say there's no A side, there's no side of the street, yes it is. There's boxing and there's the business of boxing. Earl Spence said, it ain't shut up and box with me. You know what I'm saying? The networks are getting paid, the promoters are getting paid. I need to get paid. Floyd Mayweather once said, I can't feed my kids belts. So we got boxing and we got the business of boxing. I think that Bud Crawford needs to work on the business of boxing. I think he needs to get his business side of boxing in order. His contract ends with Top Rank, I believe, in October. Somewhere around at the end of the year. We don't know if he's going to re-sign, if he's not going to sign or not. But every time that he doesn't get a fight with Earl Spence or one of the top guys over at PBC, Bob Arum has to pay him $1 million. He signed a contract where he makes $3 million a fight. It doesn't matter who he fights. He can fight the trash man. He'll get $3 million. Okay. And on top of that, he'll get another $1 million now because Bob Arum, his promoter, couldn't secure the fight with Earl Spence. Every time that he fights and he don't get a fight with Earl Spence, he gets an extra. So basically, he's getting $4 million a fight now. That tells me he's satisfied with that. You see what I'm saying? That tells me he's satisfied with that. Now, what I'm saying is we're all going to see what's going to happen if he stay on that island by himself come October. Because, so Bob tried to blame Earl Spence, talking about, yeah, every time that we try to get the fight, Earl comes up with these percentages, these numbers. This man said he don't blame Al Heyman no more. Just blame Earl Spence. Okay, you say don't blame Al Heyman, but then I seen in the video where you said Al Heyman don't even exist. Does he even exist? Bob's an old man, and he's set in his ways. Okay, but Bob also made a statement saying that with the money I lost on Terrence Bud Crawford, I could have built a mansion in Beverly Hills. He said he wiped his hands of Bud Crawford and let his son-in-law deals with him. His son-in-law, who runs part of the company for Top Rank. That's unbelievable to me. You got the pound-for-pound champion on most people's lists, on 90% of most people's lists, and you mean to tell me you can't promote him? You can't do your job. So I don't understand that. But everybody wants to blame Earl Spence, and he's the only one standing on his square promoting the business of boxing. Like he said, it ain't shut up and box with me. So 60-40 split. You guys tell me, who do you think deserves that? This is Rowdy Nation TV. Click the like button and subscribe. Join in. We're going to get into this about the